another podcast, back and fresh. And we missed you last week. Hope you missed us. But we are back with another podcast and look forward to sharing what we've been up to. I've been out of town. Tim, of course, has been out of town. I'm not sure if he's going to make it for this podcast, but Harold, you do this every time. That's just throwback to a story time on the podcast. Can you name that Harold story? Guys, it is No Sugar, No Cream podcast. We are live on Facebook. Hopefully live. Hopefully our sound is going well. We'll check it here in a second. As Tim turns into DJ Tim with his headphones, you look legit over there with your hat and glasses and the headphones on. I just came back from a cruise. I kind of booked it last minute, and just a couple weeks ago, spontaneously went and had a great time. I'm going to share a little bit about that. And of course, Tim's Celtics and my Cowboys are doing fantastic. Things are looking fantastic. Tim did give me his Celtics card today. No, it's kind of a personal thing. That's his fan card. My Cowboys card has been shredded last night after the Monday Night Football game. It was pretty funny. They panned over the two announcers with Troy Aikman and Buck. They got a kick out of after one of it was a fumble. They punched out the ball, and Michael A was sitting. Michael A, who is from ESPN and is well known how much he hates the Cowboys and always talking crap about Cowboys, but he still has a friendship with Jerry Jones. After that play of the ball getting knocked over, I think it was still the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, he got up and left, shook Jerry Jones's hand, and was like, "Well, I'm out." And everybody got kind of a kick out of that. It was like I see what I know to see. The Cowboys in my book still suck. But Jerry Jones must have a somewhat of a he can deal with. Stephen A is always talking crap about the Cowboys, but still has a real relationship with Jerry Jones and gets to sit in his box. But that was pretty funny that they showed him leaving right after one of the fumbles. But dude, he leaped up in the air, and oh my gosh, those guys are so good at punching the ball out. It's just like there's nothing you can do. You can only hold the ball so tight. But I mean, I feel like you hold the ball tight, especially with one hand. Like, I mean, you're probably a bad example because you got massive hands that probably could hold on to the ball really well. But I was like, most people, you hold the ball, and if somebody's coming up and is just punching the ball as hard as they can, there's a good chance that ball's going to come out no matter how hard you're holding it.
I mean, I'm not the NFL fan that you are, but it seems that punching the ball out is they must train for that.
Oh, for sure. And it's becoming more and more of a thing, like, especially this year. Like, it's been a thing for years. But like, I mean, it's very much they just perfectly just nail that ball.
Yeah.
Which the funny part is, you miss and hit the person. That's a foul. That's an assault. Like, you can't punch opponents. But they
do it while they're tackling. So I mean, if you are focusing on punching the ball, and maybe by focusing too much on punching the ball, you don't make the tackle.
Which happens. Really the best opportunities for what happens when you already have a guy tackling and the second guy comes up behind him and he nails it. That seems to happen on occasion, but sometimes it's the first person just shows up and, just rather than going for a good tackle, I mean, you're having to focus on punching the ball. But I mean, turnovers is where turnovers are very, very important. What was it, like 6 turnovers? Was that the Cowboys game? There was but I can't remember. Everything's blurry now. I didn't sleep as well on that cruise
Everything's
ship.
blurry now. You want to write that? Let's write that song.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it.
Everything's blurry now. I don't know what it's about. What is it about? But
I didn't sleep well tonight.
Yeah, so in the Celtics, of course,
on my mind.
the Celtics.
Country song, sorry.
No, that I'm not. I'm out.
No.
I am out.
That's why I quickly apologize. I'll change it, Tim. Our first writing session isn't going very well. Maybe we should spontaneously do it in the middle of the podcast. Man, maybe that could be entertaining. We start a new podcast. It's called Seth and Tim's writing podcast.
Yeah, so I'm a Celtics fan. I mean, here's Jason Tatum.
There we go.
Here's Larry Bird.
Here's your basketball.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Jason Tatum he's on his good foot. I think which one is it?
Yeah, he's on his good one. Yeah, yeah. And this was kind of a rebuilding year because the NBA, they implemented a new collective bargaining agreement, which the NBA, I think it's the league where the players have the most power. Partially because you only have 5 teams playing at a time. 5. So a team, or a baseball, you have 9, and plus you have a bunch of pitchers. Football, you got 11, 2 times 22, plus all the special teams. What's 45 on a team? Where the NBA can only have 15. So the players are fewer, and so they have a higher percentage. And so they get 50% of all the revenue that the NBA gets. And they speak to what the NBA does for policy. So this collective bargaining agreement, which gets ratified lasts for so many years, this new one is incredibly penalizes for going over the spending too much. Now, see, I think baseball doesn't have that. And so the Dodgers spent $1 billion on 3 players, and they just won the World Series. And
doesn't work very well.
Oh, you're trying to.
I was hoping it would just fly across.
Are you paying attention or what?
I'm on task. Basketball.
And so because of this collective bargaining agreement, they have different levels, and the higher you are above the penalty, or the different levels of maximum salary you can pay, the more penalty you pay. And then if you're in it for multiple years, there's a repeater tax. So if you're over that first apron, or they call it the first apron, so there's 3 levels. There's you're over the limit, which the penalties are small. Then there's the first apron, which is above that, and the penalties get bigger. Where the penalties get just incredibly untenable is when you're above the second apron. And if you're above the second apron for multiple years, the tax becomes, I think the
$500 million or
$500 million. Yeah, they were going to pay $500 million.
Remember, you told me.
And that's like double even what the entire payroll is for the. So you have 2 years before the repeater tax really starts getting egregious. And so the Celtics won in 2024, and they were actually favored to win in 2025, but the Knicks beat them in the semifinals, Eastern Conference semifinals. And even the players are like, we're not.
He was an old coach of theirs, right? Is that
no?
I'm thinking of somebody else.
You're thinking of the truck driver.
The truck driver was who was the coach that
he's Houston.
Houston, okay, but there was I'm getting confused.
Tom Thibodeau, coach for the Knicks. He's a really good coach. I mean, he actually was assistant coach for the Knicks, or for the Celtics, when the Celtics won the championship in 2008.
Right. So he was an ex-coach.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you were talking about the Houston's coach, Ume Udoka. Yes, you're right, and I'm mistaken. I thought you were talking about someone else.
So, I don't think that ever came up, or you did, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. But I mean, that seems to, especially now that we've learned more about how skillful he is about playing against a team that he's coached.
No, I think you're conflating 2 different coaches.
But I mean, he did have knowledge of playing against.
That was years and years ago.
Okay.
That was 2008, and then he left to coach the Bulls.
Yeah, a long time
so it's a long time ago. It's not even the same. There's no players that are the same. So any knowledge he had is really not useful.
Okay.
And the reason I call him a truck driver, because, a lot of coaches are very dapper and they look like Eric Spoelstra. The guy hasn't aged a day in 20 years, and he always looks, very dapper. I mean, I'm thinking of Pat Riley. Pat Riley, he looked like he was wearing Armani suits. A lot of the coaches, no, they don't wear suits anymore, but a lot of the coaches still try to look very presentable. To me, Tom Thibodeau looks like a truck driver on the sidelines. I mean, everything about it.
With that right in the middle of the game, too.
He looks like a truck driver. And he's got a weird habit. I don't know if he still does it, but once when I was living in South Dakota and the Celtics were playing the Timberwolves, before the Timberwolves were any good, they were no good at that time. Now they're a very good team. And the Celtics came to play the Timberwolves in Minneapolis, Twin Cities. And it was easy to get tickets. I got a ticket on the midcourt line, second row. Wonderful ticket. And so the Timberwolves, and Thibodeau was coaching the Timberwolves at the time. And their bench was on my side, so they weren't that far away. And through the entire game, whenever the Celtics would put up a jump shot, he would yell, "Brick!" I mean, that's like something you would expect in a junior high game the coach to do, not in an NFL, not NBA, game.
Yeah, that's what we did as kids. Yeah,
yeah.
You said that.
Brick!
Yeah, as kids
he did it through the entire game, not once or twice, through the entire game. Brick! So he
would think that he would have caught on that nobody was joining him.
I mean, no shade given to Tom Thibodeau. He's a great coach. He took the Knicks from they really were perennial not doing well, and they made it to the Western Conference Finals,
and he should not have been fired.
What's it? Yeah, he did. He's a great coach. The one thing he has they fired him though, which is really weird.
Was there any reasoning in that?
No. They have got a great coach now. They kind of did upgrade, but when they fired him, everybody was like, "Why'd they fire him?" But they still have to pay him, so he's living his best life. He doesn't have to work. But anyway, back to the collective bargaining agreement. The Celtics had won the championship. They were favored to win last year, but they got beat by Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks, and they outplayed us. And then in that series, Tatum injured his Achilles tendon at season ending. In fact, he may not even be back this year. It takes a long time to heal from an Achilles tendon tear. And so the Celtics okay, why are we paying this huge salary? It doesn't make sense. And when Tatum gets back, we want to be able to go after new players. So they traded away, how many? 3 of our starters and actually 4 of our top 8, as far as minutes goes. Just traded away a lot of people. So and then Tatum's out. So a lot of people are saying that the Celtics are in a rebuilding year. Although, all fans like myself, hope for the best but it's playing out that the Celtics aren't very good this year. I will admit it.
Well, what's the record? I
think it's 3-5 now.
3-5.
Yeah, last night they played a very winnable game, and they just made mistakes down the stretch. Now, there was a play that Jaylen Brown said that they should have been called. I mean, he had the ball, and one of the Salt Lake City players fell down in front of him, and he tripped over him, and he said that should have been a trip. I'm not sure of the language. I mean, both of them slipped, so did he purposely trip him? I mean, will they call a trip if the other player is not doing it on purpose? I don't know. It doesn't seem to really affect other fouls. Even if you're not doing it on purpose and maybe your body gets in the way, you're still going to get called a foul. So I don't know enough about the rules. But, I mean, there was one recent big argument. Giannis, who, a phenomenal player, former MVP, phenomenal center, plays for Milwaukee Bucks. And he took a long gather and stride. And some people say he took, you're only supposed to have 3 steps, I think. Some people are saying he had 5 steps. And he should have been a travel, and nobody called a travel. And it's a big controversy. Of course, he's a big guy, so his strides are longer than the average person's. He's over 7 feet tall. So when you're a 7 foot tall person, you can cover a lot of ground in those 3 strides. So I don't know well enough to know whether that was a foul or that was a travel or not. But it's a big, people discuss, and even in the NFL, same thing. You've got calls that people say that was a bad call, right? I mean, Happens in NFL games.
It happens all the time.
Baseball.
Half the time, everybody
Baseball
thinks it's
too.
rigged.
Baseball too. I mean, okay, the World Series. Let's talk about the World Series. I didn't watch it, but I did kind of follow it on social medias, and I was rooting for the underdog Toronto Blue Jays because
you rooted for the Canadians.
Rooting for the Canadians. Yes.
What were you like maple syrup or something? Clip it.
Anyhow, there was a controversial play, Game 7. Let's see, the Blue Jays, if I remember, because again I wasn't watching it, I just saw the recap. The Blue Jays hit a ball that hit the fence and rolled underneath the fence a little bit, and the Dodgers player threw up his hands, and they immediately called it a ground rule double. And so that meant that the players, how did that go? The players were kept from advancing all the way because they said the player probably could have made it to third. He was in play. And then the complaint about it was, as soon as they ruled it a ground rule double, the outfielder reached down and picked it up without prying it out from underneath the fence. He just picked it up and threw it. So they're saying it really wasn't lodged, was what the argument was. I don't know either way, but apparently I saw some posts saying that they were robbed.
Well, you know,
did you watch it? Did you watch it?
I did not, but I'll just let you know, you are a professional in nowadays, by watching a clip on social media, it turns you into a professional, and you are able to skillfully know whether something is true or not.
No doubt about it.
That's or at least that's what 75% of the crazy people in life.
Yeah, there's so many things I'm expert on. I don't even want to get into it. People will probably cancel if I start mentioning the things I'm an expert on. I'm an expert on vaccines. No, vaccines, absolute expert. Because I've watched a few videos, so I know more than the PhD doctors. Anyhow, let's not get into that. We're going to lose half of our fans. The three that we do have. Well,
thank you.
That Bob, one of the odd
Larry and Fred. What names do you have? Well, hey, let's get into I'll give you the lowdown on my cruise for a little bit. It was fun, and back to Celtics.
Okay, why did you do this cruise? What was let's tell the audience what was one of the main objectives for booking this cruise?
Just to have a good time.
No. Do you not want to say it? Do you not want to say it?
It wasn't really the main objective, but it was definitely something that I thought of. I always told my brother that I would just show up on the cruise and like call him and be like, "Hey, I'm on a cruise," and it didn't go how I planned because, he didn't even answer the phone. I tried to call him several times, and then he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I had sent him a picture. I was like, "Hey, I'm on a cruise." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And it was like, "Well, have fun," So I didn't even get to get him on the phone. that's talking. I mean, everybody just texts nowadays, which I still don't like texting that much. I want to briefly text, and that's it. I would prefer to have a conversation.
Do you remember the 5 levels of communication that we discussed in a previous podcast? The lowest level is DMing, like DMing on Facebook.
I think there will end up having to be a DM involved at some point.
And then the next level, because you don't even have their. I don't know what Snapchat would be DMing, but this is a few years now. It's been a few years.
Direct.
But I remember seeing a clip of a college teacher, and all the freshmen were coming in, and they were meeting new people. I mean, when you go to college and you're a freshman, and it's all exciting because it's a new world for you. You're not living with your parents, usually living in the dorm. Sometimes people live at home, but regardless, it's still a whole new era. And you're meeting a bunch of people, you're meeting a bunch of friends, and he was kind of observing them in the class after when it was over before. And he said that every one of them, when they'd make a new friend, they don't give their phone numbers, they give their snaps. Snapchat info, and that was how they're communicating. And this was like 4 years ago. So I don't know if that's still the case. Is Snapchat out now? Is there something to replace it?
Still, I still use Snapchat. People use Instagram. And Snapchat for the most part.
You're a geriatric millennial. That's what it's called. How would you know what these Gen Zs are doing?
Now say 3 nice things about me, Tim. You have 10 seconds. Go.
Oh, you're very funny. Funniest man in Nashville. And
time's up. I'm hurt. But anyways, let me finish talking about the cruise.
I called you in a previous podcast. I called you OG millennial, and there were a few people that objected to that and wanted to cancel me because I called you an OG millennial. Did he just say OG? Oh,
that hurts a little bit because I know how much he loves to throw around the word geriatric. Oh, look at all those geriatrics. He found a way to apply it to me.
No, there is a term. Look it up. There is a term called geriatric millennials. I didn't make that up. There is.
But you were the one that used it in the sentence.
I was the one that used it in a sense. My apologies, nephew. My
it's
apologies.
It's pretty funny. Just see myself. I got your snap. Did you Snapchat me, Tim? I'm on the Snapchat. So yeah, one of the big reasons I went on the cruise. Yeah, I'm still talking about the cruise. I went on Norwegian. It was Norwegian Getaway, and I got.
No, wasn't Royal Caribbean?
No.
Oh, I'm bad. Norwegian. Okay, I thought it was
Norwegian. And they seem to really cater to solo or single cruisers. Someone traveling by themselves. There wasn't double occupancy, so I just got charged. Usually, always you'd be charged double occupancy. But they do a lot of their crew. Some do and some don't. I guess maybe this cruise line in particular, but there was a few that I looked at with Norwegian, and there was a double occupancy. So really, for less than $300, I went on a 5-day cruise. So that was an extra bonus too. I mean, it was kind of last minute. I got a balcony, which I hardly use, of course, but it was only like $40 more. The food was good. I had a good time. Oh my gosh, getting on. I got on the ship so fast. It was really simple. They just scanned my phone. I didn't have any printout or nothing. I had my passport and my cell phone when I walked on. I felt like I didn't have enough things to get on the ship. I felt like I was going to be denied. There was nothing to it. I had everything filled out. So they handed my card and I headed right on the boat. I didn't have any line at the time too, so they're already loading, so that helped. I went on at like 11:30. Went super smooth. I had the first meal I had there. I was kind of disappointed. It was a bar and grill spot, and I had wings, which weren't that good, and I had a burger, and that was the only meal I really didn't enjoy, other than a steak that was overcooked, and then they let me get something else. Now, a big thing with Carnival, you can get 2 entrees and not be charged. You can only have 1 entree on Norwegian, and then they'll charge you $5. So that is another, but 1 meal is plenty. You can have as many appetizers as you want, which my favorite appetizer was a bruschetta. I had a bruschetta. I love some bruschetta. If anybody doesn't know what bruschetta, usually a piece of bread, and then you have a combination of seasonings and stuff with tomatoes, like a paste of tomatoes, and it is just like kind of like a marinara sauce, but completely different. Anyways, a chunky salsa, but not a salsa. They had 3 dining rooms. They're all the 3 the same. They served all the same 3 meals, but they all looked a little different. You didn't have to. I never had to wait more than a minute or two. Probably at most one time I waited maybe close to 3 or 4 minutes, and to get a table. The only time you have to do a reservation for the dining room would be if you had a big party. So if you want to come in with a big party, you just do a reservation and they can set up a big party for you. So I like that. That looks like you probably can just eat with whoever you want to. You make some friends on the cruise, go have dinner together, just make a reservation together, whatever, real simple. There was an Asian spot that I didn't eat at, and that was included. There was no extra charge. There was a number of extra dining places, a steak, Italian place, and it was my first time, so I was like, I don't feel like spending extra money for since the theme of this one was being thrifty, and it was a good deal. You know, I didn't want to pile up too much, so I didn't. So my bill wasn't too high once I got off the ship, and I had $100 onboard credit, so that was nice. The ship was really beautiful. I mean, it had the usual arcade area. I was surprised how many people were hanging out in the arcade one morning, just a bunch of kids and stuff. I think they might have a package where you can maybe game as much as you want or whatever. The lunch buffet, you know, the lunch buffet was a lot like Celebrity. Was that Celebrity? Yeah. How the Celebrity was set up, it felt a lot just like that. How Celebrity's lunch buffet was. That is a lot like it felt like that, and even looked like that. And for the most part, because they had even a dinner time. I skipped lunch sometimes, but then I could go eat in the main dining room for lunch from 12 to 2, so that was fine. But then I was ended up falling asleep kind of early, so I was getting up at and getting an early breakfast, and there was a breakfast as early as 5:30 in the morning. So I would go have a sit-down restaurant breakfast, get my usual meal, eggs and toast, and then I did pancakes one morning, which was okay, and then I did some French toast that was really good. It was like really thick French toast, and that was very delicious. What was one of my favorite meals? I can't remember all my dinner meals per se. Kind of just normal, nothing crazy. They had some nice different options. I guess I can't even think what I got per se. I guess nothing just jumped out too much, but I was pleasantly happy with what I had. I did a fish and chips one afternoon. There's the little bar in that was the same place where I had burgers. I'm disappointed. I had the fish and chips, and that was fine. The fish and chips might have been even frozen, but they were the fish and chips. The fish itself was just fried fish, and it still tasted good, and it had a really good remoulade sauce that you could dip the fish in, so that was tasty. But I was really happy with the time I had. I spent a lot of time in the hot tub, chatting it up with people a little bit and relaxing. The hot tubs were good temperature for the most part. Well, they had a basketball court. I never made it up to really the basketball court. Up there, but now it seemed like one part of the front of the ship was you had to pay extra or even be a higher level to even get to. So it felt like part of the ship was completely off the way they had it designed. It was kind of poorly in a way where it seemed like the front of the ship you couldn't even access. It was weird. I didn't like that per se. It felt like they locked off part of the ship.
Well,
so you couldn't get to the front of it. It was weird.
I read an article about, see, my bad. All this time until just now, I thought it was Royal Caribbean,
which is, I mean, probably
the compare. That's why I was at. You're probably wondering,
ship.
because I said, how does it compare with Royal Caribbean? And you were like, how would I know? I've been on one of those cruises. But you didn't say that. You were kind. I was thinking you were on that one, which is the comparable one with Carnival, I would say, right? Royal Caribbean and Carnival are the two big players.
Yeah.
And Royal Caribbean has kind of leaned into really big ships, 7,000 to 8,000 people. Which
they've just outdone themselves with size. They've just broken their own records,
right?
And really put them in the news quite a bit.
And there was an article, one of the articles that I subscribed to, like Vox or Atlantic. You know, they purport to be serious reporting. In fact, and I may have even sent that article to you and Daniel. And they went on the inaugural cruise of the Vista, which was their biggest ship.
You know, I memorized every article you send me.
Is the Vista still the largest one, or do they make one even bigger than that? I think it's called Vista. Is their biggest one.
Carnival? No, there's already one bigger than
Wow.
Which is the same class, so it's just slightly,
Anyhow,
slightly bigger.
He was talking about how there are parts on that ship. Back to your point, talking about Carnival, I don't think does this, but there were parts on that ship that you had to pay as much as $100,000 to be in.
On a Carnival?
No, I'm talking about Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean. Okay. Wow. So some extra,
and people were lauding, like thinking they're a big deal because, really saying, well, I've got I can, I'm very prestigious because I paid all this money and I'm in this department.
Yeah. I think there's a restaurant like Celebrity. There was a restaurant that's available at higher levels. Now I need to call up Norwegian and see what I can do. Supposedly, I was Googling it, and you can, they have something called status matching, and the status I am with Carnival, they'll give me the same status on Norwegian, supposedly. So I need to call and figure that out before I go on another cruise. And they also do, just like Carnival, they do, once you own 100 stock, they give you the 50, from anywhere from 50 all the way up to 250 bucks of onboard credit for each cruise, starting at 5 days cruise, or less than 5 days, you get 50 bucks. 7 days, you get 100. Over 8 days, you get like 150, and then up to like I think over 16 or something, you get 250 or something like that, which it pays for itself. Dingle's already basically paid for his stock, and my parents for the most part too. So yeah, Norwegian does that. So that's convenient because their stock is only like 22 bucks right now, which it just got hit, which is crazy because it's so weird. The stock market is so weird. They hit their goals, but it still didn't appease everyone. So their stock still went down quite a bit, and they still hit their goal. They still did really well. But I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to doing one again. I'll probably try to go ahead and I have some credit with a credit card for Expedia. So hopefully that will apply to one, because basically I have enough to cover another cheap cruise. You plan those ahead, and you just go to off-season time. I mean, you go during the summer and like holidays, it's going to be a lot. And like spring break, the prices are going to be a lot higher. But you go off-season, you can go on for a vacation for a good price. In fact, the one we got coming up in December, you're closer to Christmas. It's probably we'd pay at least double. But we're going at the beginning of December, and the prices are pretty reasonable going out of California there. But do have to pay double occupancy. That's a nice thing about Norwegian. Not all their cruises, not all their bookings, but you can do some solos. And somebody told me the day I was getting off, I guess there was like a solo, there's a singles like lounge on my floor that I was at. I never looked around for it because I didn't know about it. But so these ships are so big. I mean, it's 5 days. I mean, I still didn't really see, and I explored some, but I still didn't see everything on the ship. I never even made it for one of the comedy shows. I guess there was a decent comedian on board that does a few shows. Not everything. That is a big thing with Carnival. Like if you like comedy, they do like probably there's at least a few comedy shows every day, practically. And then I didn't see her show. Now I've heard Norwegian, they do some crazy shows, like really well done. They got like a water show they'll do. There's an ice show I think they do. Like I think Royal Caribbean's really known for their shows. Norwegian, I didn't make it to one of their shows. That I walked in the area where the shows would be, and it looked like a nice spot.
Well, I think Daniel's been saying that, for example, most of the carnivals have a big amphitheater, if you can call it that, like a Broadway type of a theater, where they have people who aspire to be dancers and singers, that sort of thing, and they can get a job on a Carnival cruise putting on shows. And I think Daniel said they're taking that out so they can put more rooms in on a lot of their ships. Either the new ships or when they renovate it, they're taking those amphitheaters out and putting rooms there instead. That's news to you?
Or could that be the movie theater on the newer ships, or literally because that's the main place where they have a lot of stuff going on.
That's what I thought he said. Maybe I misheard.
We'll have to look that up. But that would make sense for the movie theater. There's like 3 or 4 ships that have like a whole movie theater, and they charge for the movies, and those never sell out. Like, I mean, they're charging you normal movie tickets, but it's nice. They're playing movies that are in theaters, but like that's a decent amount of space that they could put rooms. That wouldn't surprise me. But that would be kind of crazy if they took over the main. But I want to surprise from the movies. That kind of makes sense. There's like 2 or 3 that have the movie theaters, and that takes up like 3 floors and like a space that probably would fit. I mean, what about 10 to 30 rooms? Probably, maybe. I don't know. Probably a decent amount of rooms. I mean, the rooms can be pretty small. So, which isn't a big deal. I mean, we usually just get the basic rooms. I mean, a balcony. I got a balcony, but you really didn't even need it. I mean, I went out to it once or twice. I mean, you don't spend but for the most part only.
You're right. Yes, you are correct, sir. Carnival is not taking out the main theaters, the showrooms, but they are removing some dedicated movie theaters like IMAX and Thrill theaters on newer and refurbished.
Thrill theaters, okay, yeah.
Removal of dedicated movie theaters. So,
yeah, it's really neat having the movie theater, but I mean, yeah, they're not making a lot of money from those.
During some dry docks, some other types of smaller, like a library. A lot of them have a library. They're taking the libraries out.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, people usually go to the library too much, and then there's not making any money with it. There's no way to make money. I mean, they have to.
So what do they figure? Daniel might know this. So let's say if you get a cruise for $300, they must have a multiple that they expect you're going to pay on ship. Because if everybody just was on ship and paid the minimum, and didn't pay any extra, didn't get any extra food, didn't get any Wi-Fi, didn't get any drink package, didn't make any excursions, Carnival would go under.
Right. They
make their money from the add-ons, the upsells.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's a common thing. I mean, that's a common thing on the internet marketing. People give you something for very cheap or free, and they try to get in the door, and then the upsells is how you make the money. That's a very common marketing tool. So I'm wondering, they must have a metric for every, let's round numbers. Let's say it's $500 for a 7-day cruise for the cabin. And that includes free food if you don't go to any added on places.
Mm-hmm.
And you could not spend any more money. You could do the whole cruise, no excursions, and you'd have a decent cruise.
Mm-hmm.
What do you suppose their metric is they want as a minimum everyone to spend?
I would say at least the cost of what the cruise was.
Additional.
If not more. If
a $500 cruise, another $500.
And they probably can be double that for the people that are like the casino. Like I'd say the casino probably.
The casino's where they make them. Yeah, Daniel said, because Daniel, your brother, Seth's brother, knows captains he cruises so much, he knows the captains and he knows the entertainment directors, and they sometimes talk to him about that. And because he's interested in that sort of thing. And the biggest moneymaker on a cruise ship is the casinos, is what he has said.
Yeah.
And because you're in international waters, there's no regulation.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like,
don't say that out loud. That's the secret.
I know that's the crazy man. You play slots. For the most part, when I understand, they're like 75% return. There's nowhere near that for slots on a ship.
There's no regulation, and they shut it down when they're in their port. They shut down the casinos.
Mm-hmm.
There's a giveaway right there. Dead giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Dead giveaway. Do you know what that's from?
That sounds familiar.
Dead giveaway. Oh, well, that's a rabbit trail. We'll come back to that. But yeah, so the fact that they don't do it when they're in port, when they're not in international waters, kind of is an indication. So
know that. But if you do like to budget yourself, that's the smartest thing to do. Never. I mean, like I like to play a little bit of poker. Now, a big plus about being a Norwegian, they have a live person dealing. Yeah, that person takes a reg, but it's a lot different than having an electronic board that feels rigged and feels like they're. For some suddens, there's a lot of full houses and straights commonplace.
Yeah. So when we say casino, I'm going to say 90% of the money they're coming in is the one-armed bandit.
Oh yeah,
that's where the money goes in. It's a lot of retired people, or maybe not retired, retirement age, and they go in and they play the one-armed bandit. And most of the casinos are smoking, so they sit there and they smoke there and they get their drink, and they're spending money. And that's when we're talking about a casino. We're not talking about blackjack with a dealer, although they do sometimes have that. But on Carnival, it's all machine, like you said, right? Do they even have a real dealer at all on Carnival?
On Carnival for poker, not at all. All the other games they have a live
like
person.
blackjack, maybe
blackjack, all those they do, but they're taking away poker quite a bit. So that was a nice. I did sit down and play poker.
Man, but a machine. It's a machine, right?
Texas Hold'em was not on Norwegian, not a Norwegian.
No, a real dealer in Norwegian.
Dealer,
okay,
yep.
Okay.
So that was nice to sit down and play a real game. They even had a tournament, which I didn't play that. I just played one night, and then I walked by a couple of times, and there was nobody playing. So, but I was kind of bummed. There was a guy next to me that kept on raising it like crazy, so I couldn't really I mean, I had a stack of $100. The guy next to me was going like anytime he jumped to $40.
Okay, so this is when you were in Miami and you played real poker. Is that what you're talking about? I didn't pay attention.
This was on Norwegian.
Okay, did you go? You were going to go play real poker in Miami.
I ended up not to. I was about to go there. It's so funny. I got my hair cut, and then I was going to walk over to the.
And you look good,
place.
Dude. Looking good.
Thank
good
you.
haircut.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Everyone give an applause for Seth's wonderful looking haircut.
Got it done right before the cruise, so I was happy about that.
Give him a thumbs up in the comments.
And so I made it where found a spot that was trying to find a spot that was close to the casino. But anyways, I was walking there, and they have it where it's like fenced off, and there's a wall all the way around it. And I had to walk I got some good exercise. I had to walk all the way around, and by the time I walked, I thought I could enter this way. It made it look like on the GPS I could enter this way, but I had to walk literally a mile around to go into it.
You're exaggerating. You're exaggerating.
No, I'm not. I could show you how big. Like
on the ships on the ship.
No. I'm talking about when I was going to go play poker before the cruise.
Oh, in Miami.
Yeah, I was going to play in Miami, which I had a good time at the same spot. But you had only one entrance, and I walk all the way around, and there was a Target across the street, and I needed to grab a couple things at Target. So I was like, got a pool, hot tub. There's a game later that night. I'm just gonna go to Kroger, grab some things, and head back to. I was done walking because I had to still walk another half a mile to get all the way to the casino. It was so annoying just to have the whole thing blocked off around it. But that's my adventures of trying to go play poker. So, and then I was hoping that they would have a live person on the boat, which they did. I just had one game. I ended up being one hand, and I had the winning hand, and the guy called me, and all he had was a pair of sixes. I had a pair of jacks, and then he got hit he hit another six last hand. I was like, I had to call you. I'm like, no, you were stupid for calling me. You just got lucky. I'm like, it's so funny how people.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You won. You don't have to make an argument.
My buddy,
if you're making an argument,
my buddy Fedge plays poker sometimes professionally. He and his roommate have poker nights in their home, and they make supplemental income from this. In fact, his roommate, he says, makes a couple grand a month, every month, consistently. And he says his roommate is much better than he is, but
that's not his real name. Please, that is not his real name.
Did I say his name?
Yeah,
I did,
but not his real name.
No.
His real name is
Bob.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something close to it, but everything sounded like what his name was.
So Bob, he was telling me about when they were playing, and he had he was going to make a $1,400 pot, and there was a guy next to him who was an idiot and got lucky, just like you said.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
And he was complaining about it. He was saying, "Man, the guy was too stupid for his own good," but he lucked out.
Yeah. Yep, it happens. It happens. That's part of the game. That is part of the game. I promise you too. There are people that have gotten, which is so funny to say about poker that have God-given good luck. They just like hit it more often than not. I was sitting down playing poker with a guy, and he was talking about how he already won playing slots or something. He already won like 1,000 or 2. He just played with us for a little while. He didn't really win any money, but he got up, walked over to some slots, and hit for a couple $1,000. I'm like, I believe every word he said. He is a lucky person.
What? Okay.
Some people,
he could have been a plant. He could have been a plant, man. It could have been a plant.
He could have been a plant.
Hey, if you see somebody win, then people want to play that machine.
Oh yeah, I guess they do. I feel like they do that for like for the painting, for the like in auctions or something like that.
On the painting, yeah,
possibly. But it is kind of funny how just how you see people get extra good luck. Like I used to work at a boys' home, and we take the kids fishing, and one of the kids didn't even like taking bait in the fish or nothing, but the one kid, they're all fishing right in the same spot, and one kid is catching all the fish, and none of the other ones. I'm like, he's blessed. The fish are just, there's no reason for that fish to be going. It's just him. So, but anyways, that's just a little belief I have. I'm gonna share with you guys. Hope you're having a wonderful day. That's enough for me. Back to you, Bob. Bob's asleep again. But yeah, Bob really is our go-to generic name, isn't it? But yeah, so had a good time. Great vacation. Everything went fairly smooth, other than flying there. I think I got delayed by a couple hours, so I was kind of bummed about that. But yeah, but once I got in the air, got there successfully. Flap my wings. Oh, that's good. There's a dad joke. But I was very happy with my time. I gotta say, for the most part, there's always going to be bad experiences. Things are going to happen there, but it's what you make of it. It's kind of the attitude you have. Whereas, which is kind of funny, I get off the ship and I do Uber share because it was saving like $8-9, and I like to conversate with people a little bit, and so I get in the Uber share, and there's already a person sitting in the vehicle, and she's getting dropped off first, and then I'm gonna get dropped off. Lady was quiet as could be, wouldn't say anything. In fact, already I could knew something was up because the Uber thing was set to automatically play, and it said where we were headed was her address. She's like, "Oh, now everybody knows my address," because the volume was kind of loud. I'm like, "No, because I crap where you live," like. And so I was like, "Oh, I could already tell that she had a bad attitude."
Did she get off before you did?
Yes, thankfully.
Oh, but you never would have known her address when they dropped her off there because you couldn't have seen the address markings.
Right. Or I think she was talking about like people outside the vehicle too, because it was kind of loud, and he had the volume up loud. But yeah, I know. I even made a joke on the way. I was like, "Man, when we get to your place, I'm gonna close my eyes so I don't know where you live." She didn't say a word. So my bag was on top of her, so I jump out to help him, and I noticed he didn't get out and help at all. And so I took my bag off, and then I saw a Carnival tag. She had just been on a Carnival cruise. Well, she's probably one of those people that no matter what you say, Carnival is the worst cruise ship in the world. Because, by the way, her attitude was she must have not had a good time. And oh my goodness. And my driver gave all the details. She was horrible. As soon as she said, she was complaining right away about having to wait for me and stuff. Well, you did a share. You booked a share. So there's going to be another person in the vehicle.
How old was this lady?
Oh, she had to have been maybe around my age.
I think she would be a perfect girlfriend. I mean, she's
almost cussed.
She speaks her mind. She lets her know what she's thinking.
Tim, sometimes I don't think you know me at all.
challenge you a little bit to get a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Challenging me go insane?
She likes to cruise. You could cruise together.
Tim's gonna just slowly watch me go insane. I'm like, are you sure you want a roommate with a person that's slowly going insane by the person they date? No, I want to date a happy person. Yeah, she definitely didn't have a good time on the cruise. I saw the tag and she just grabbed her bag and like, I've been on over 50 cruises, on Carnival cruises. Would have loved to chat with you. She quickly just walks away. I really want to know what happened to her. There was a breakup on the ship. I mean, things did not go well for her on the cruise, and she's just not a happy person. But we talked the rest of the way going back. He was like, he wasn't gonna lift a finger to help her because he was already annoyed to heaven with her because just how mean she was being. I don't know how rude she was being. So rude. So that was just funny that she was on Carnival cruise. Like, thought I was on her cruise. that cruise must have been a barrel of fun, but yeah, it's what you made it. That's just, I witnessed somebody that has a bad attitude, and you're probably gonna be down complaining about something, waiting in a long line. Like for some reason, everybody wants to wait in line for a half an hour the first day. I'm like, things open. The desk, the front desk or whatever is open all cruise. You can go there anytime. There's no need to waste your time. Go there when there's no line. Is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter what your account says. If it's still there tomorrow, you can still argue about it tomorrow. But I had a blast. Always enjoy cruising, and I was thinking about doing it back to back, but then I was like, oh yeah, I got Hobo Johnson tomorrow to go see. So I'm a fan of Hobo Johnson and his music, his creativeness, goofiness. So that'll be fun. But got back, flew in yesterday, and just thing about Nashville is a lot of straight flights. So just had a straight flight down to Miami, straight flight back. So just like 2.5 hours. So it's pretty nice. Or maybe a little less than that. So get a little snooze in on the way and back home for the podcast. No sugar, no cream. And just in time for both of our teams to lose. So everybody say a prayer for the Celtics and the Cowboys. And hopefully Tim and I will get our cards back. That would be our fan cards. There's imaginary fan card everybody has for their team, and sometimes it can be taken from you if you're not cheering properly like you should. So remember that. Whatever fan you are, it could be for the New York Giants, Arkansas Razorbacks, Seattle,
even the LA Dodgers, even
the LA Dodgers.
They have fans.
They have fans. They probably have a bunch of bandwagon people too.
No, yeah.
Yeah. That always happens, But I know I tried to quit being a Cowboys fan at one point. I'm like, I'm no longer a Cowboys fan. I think that lasts like 24 hours. And I'm like, I can't quit the Cowboys. When you grow up, being a fan of a team, it's hard to, even though you don't like that they're not playing well, makes it hard. Oh my gosh, you see some clips of people just devastated. Like, I guess so. I'm not that good of as a fan. If I'm not going to let it completely ruin. It can. I'll think about it, but I won't let it ruin my day. I can survive. I'm not in bed crying. Tim neither. Tim, I'm not having to pull Tim out of bed. We can survive. We can be bummed, but we're going to let you know that why we are bummed. It's because of our team losing that. But yeah, I guess it's about that time. Oh goodness, it is. Isn't it? Oh yeah, a little bit. 5:38. A little over an hour.
Okay.
Awesome. Another podcast. another podcast. If you wonder why Tim goes off camera, he goes over to wake up Bob and let Bob know to turn things off. Bob is a volunteer, so just so you guys know, where we get what we paid for. He's a volunteer Imagineer person. Guys, we appreciate you guys watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, Spotify and Apple, and wherever podcasts are. Usually we are there, and especially on Facebook Live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Usually. I mean, we missed you last week, but you missed us, hopefully. But we'll see you next time. Please follow us on our social medias and No Sugar No Cream on Facebook, and we will